My sister mocked my infertility. Luckily, God had a plan for her. A few years ago, my husband and I were able to finally conceive a child after trying for a long time. However, that happiness was cut short after I miscarried. I remember crying and being in a bad space for a while before I got back to myself. A year later, I got pregnant again. This time, I took extra steps to be as careful as possible, but I miscarried again. I was in disbelief, but like before, my family and husband helped me through it. Especially my sister, who had been my absolute pillar at that time. It was at my third miscarriage that I eventually stopped trying to get pregnant and consulted a doctor, who assured me there was no underlying condition. At this point, I was done trying to get pregnant and opted for surrogacy instead, which gave me my beautiful daughter. What really horrified me is that after explaining to my family about my choice for surrogacy, I went past the patio where my sister, our friends and some in-laws were joking about me not being able to carry children full term. I couldn't believe it when I heard my sister say I'd never be a real woman. I went to my room without confronting them and broke down crying. I thought about how she could be so cruel, but I kept all this to myself and pretended I never heard her say it. Well, my sister and her husband had also been trying to conceive a child. Only for her, she couldn't get pregnant at all. The doctor told her she was basically infertile due to an ovulation disorder, and that seemingly broke her. I went back home to join the family in comforting her. Yesterday, I offered to take her on a drive and we ate out. On our way back, she asked for advice on how I dealt with this. And I gave her some tips on how I came to terms with myself. Our conversation then ended when I told her, I guess we're both never going to be real women. And that she shouldn't be ashamed of being barren. She looked shook and dumbfounded. The whole way back home was quiet and awkward. She hasn't been out of her room much, and her husband said she has gotten worse ever since yesterday. I can't help but feel I shouldn't have said that, but at the same time, I feel like it was the perfect moment to say it without actually confronting her. It let her know that I knew what she really thought of me.